Are you listening?
Are you listening?
Mom, Dad, are you listening?
Hi, I'm Ashley McKee with Are You Listening, the show that gives you the teenage perspective on parenting. This week, Charisse from Iowa said, "My parents are everywhere. They're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. They're suffocating me and watch my every move. It's so annoying and they need to back off." Commenting on this will be Jonathan McKee.
You know, I think you'd probably admit that maybe you've even felt that way. And I think the biggest culprit is this little device right here. The fact is, as we're filming this here in 2013, just even 1 year ago, the majority of teenagers didn't have these things in their pockets. Now the majority do, about 2/3 of teenagers do. So now they're carrying around with them not just a device that makes phone calls and texts, but also a device that does Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, you name it. So what's happening is you've got a lot of parents trying to figure out exactly what to do, and some, when it comes to their parenting, they're very hands-on and very much in their kids' face, and that's probably irritating a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
Now, what? Especially when they comment, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, and you can actually find out Ashley made a rather candid post about what parents should do on Facebook. But that's another subject. See that link below. I think what happens is you've got two extremes when it comes to parenting, when it comes to them being meddling in their kids' affairs of Facebook and Instagram and all this. You have the one parent who basically is so hands-off at all that basically says, you know, I don't care, do whatever you want. And that's a mistake, because that parent's in essence is saying, I don't care. You've got the other parent that is saying, I care so much that I'm going to be over your shoulder at every second of the day. And that could probably be a little irritating to the kid. Here's the way I like to think of it. I like to think of it with driving. Ashley's learning to drive right now, which is kind of scary. But she's out there driving, and I am required by law to sit next to her in the passenger seat as she drives for 6 months. For 50 hours, we have to. I signed a piece of paper that I'm going to sit next to her and I'm going to say, be careful as you merge. Be careful as you turn right up here. And I am training her to drive. Unfortunately, a lot of parents, they sit there when they give their kid this, they just sit there and say, here, figure it out, don't break it. And that's all the instruction they give. Now here's something else that's interesting about driving. Once I teach her how to drive, she's going to eventually be able to drive by herself. And she's going to have more and more freedom. And eventually I might let her actually drive like down to LA and back, which is really far, once she earns trust. I think a lot of parents need to, one, realize there is that teaching period where you need to instruct your kid and teach them how to be responsible. But that also gets to that time and that age where you let them be on their own, and you aren't necessarily following them on Instagram and on Facebook and watching their every move and commenting on their every post. We need to give our kids freedom. So don't creep, parents, but you should care enough to at least give them instructions on how to use some of these social networking venues. That's it. I'm Jonathan McKee, and this has been
Are You Listening?